What is going on, guys? Hello, welcome back to the channel. Good to see everybody here. Good to see these Cactus liveries in JFK. Got the 321, looks like we've got a 320 over here, maybe a 733 over here, and a heavy on this side of the terminal. Man, I love seeing these Cactus tails again. It brings back great memories. Definitely does. Is this an Airbus? Oh, it is an Airbus. Excuse me. That is definitely not a 73. That looks like a 319 down there. That is awesome. Really missing this livery. Guys, before I get in the cockpit, we need to check this out. This livery is from Gerald McGinley. It's on the org store, ! livery, if you are interested in picking it up. I think he and OT obviously make some of the most fantastic liveries with extreme attention to detail. And I'm not knocking anybody else. I mean, there's some really good livery creators out there. I just happen to know these guys in the Discord, and I see their progress updates and stuff. So if you are a livery creator, feel free to join the Discord, and post up your pictures, your work in progress and stuff. But this one is especially juicy for me because you guys know I love US Airways. But look at these wing textures here. These are a little bit dirty. This is 507 Alpha Yankee. This was, I believe, an 07 bird. I don't know, McGinley, I think it's on the org store when you read the information on it. But, I mean, the detail on the liveries that these guys put out are absolutely second to none. I mean, to the markings on the nose gear doors and just everywhere. It's absolutely fantastic, absolutely juicy. Good to see everybody here. Swappy, yes, what's going on? Michael, how's it going, dude? The Flight Surgeon, good to see you. Dougal McTavish, what's going on, man? Good to see you here. Philip, Alex K, Mrs. Jungle's Cartage Wool. What is going on, guys? Good to see all you here. So we are going to be on Vatsim today. We are going to be headed down to Charlotte Douglas International Airport. Feels good to be back in the United States. We're going to be leaving Kennedy here gate. I believe we're at 32 or something like that. Over here on the old American Airlines terminal. I got the route there. If you need it, Chewy, I see you just called it up there. Awesome. So that's the route we're going to be flying. I did, however, while sitting at the gate, I got a pre-departure clearance, which I have never got before. I think that's really cool. And that's something we always call for in real life, too. Sitting at the gate, we call up PDC. We get our clearance printed out for us via ACARS so we don't have to call clearance delivery. So since I have this here, I got pinged by one of the Vatsim controllers on New York Approach. So we've already got our clearance, and we'll put it in the box. You guys can see if there's any differences. Basically, the only difference I really see is the Kennedy 5 up to 5,000 feet. So that's going to be pretty cool. And as far as, I think we got some controllers going down the coastline, so it should be a pretty good flight, guys. Let's get into it and get started. Georgios, he says, V1, just wondering if you can explain at some point before you start flying again, ETOPS, EDOTS, as per procedures and planning, if you didn't already disregard. So ETOPS, EDOTS, is that, I'm not familiar with EDOTS. I am familiar with ETOPS. That might be a good discussion for when we go down to South America. Maybe we'll do a separate discussion. But essentially, an ETOPS aircraft, in order to fly an ETOPS route, you have to have an ETOPS aircraft. You have an extra life raft, and there's a couple safety equipment things that need to be on board, a couple of aircraft equipment items, and there's a few other steps that have to be taken when you are ETOPS certified. Basically, ETOPS stands for Extended Twin Overwater Operations. And there's a lot of carriers that don't do ETOPS. They'll use what's called EOW, Extended Overwater. So it's basically not as good as ETOPS, but it's better than the basic no EOW. So that's a whole other topic, man. That's a good topic. Maybe we can talk about all that on a different flight. That would have been good to talk about when we went over to London City, starting the Euro Tour. But I hope that kind of gives you a little idea about that. Anyway, fun fact, American actually took a non-ETOPS A321 over to Hawaii. What was that, last year? They found out over the Pacific that their aircraft, they were in the wrong tail number. It was not an ETOPS certified 321. So, rip. That's going to be some paperwork. Redox, hey V1, why do you take your A321? I'll take my Concorde to Germany. Awesome, dude. All right, guys, let's hop into the pit here. We are running the FT Sim. This is a newer update. FT Sim, look like we got some wind milling. What's that wind doing out there? It must be blowing pretty good. Let's take a look here. 200 at 10 knots, so it is blowing up the tailpipe. But check out these wing views right here. Look at that. Not too much dirt, not clean. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Also, you'll notice some wear and tear on the paneling here inside the cockpit. Another just great finishes and little details here. So, engines turn or people swim, it's Johnny says. That's funny. Oh, man. Nicholas, where did I get the IAE mod livery? I think I took this IAE mod off of a different... I took this IAE paint off of a different Airways paint job, but they was the same blue, so you kind of have to mix and match. Let's go ahead and get right into it, guys. Back in the Airbus, it feels good. I'm not going to lie. Here we're sitting on batteries are on, and our external power is on, so that looks good there. We got the nav light on. That is good. Ground control can come on. I already have the ADIRs in the align phase. Fire test has already been accomplished. We'll leave our fuel pumps off until we need to start the APU. Actually, let's see, what's the outside air temperature? 26C? It's probably getting a little toasty. We'll see if we'll get our box programmed, and then we'll fire up the APU right away, cool down that cabin. So let's see, is there any, let's see the cabin conditions back here. Oh, it's almost 30C in the back. Yeah, we actually, you know what? We're going to go out of order here, but this is true to real life. When you see this happening, especially the summertime now, we like to try to keep that APU off, but you just can't do it. Sometimes you need to get the APU fired up because it's too hot, and the ground air at the gate is never as good as the APU itself. So we'll wait for that flap open and then we'll fire it off. Not often do we see when the 321 Glenn Chambers. Honestly, dude, the reason I'm not flying the 321 as much is just because of the sound pack, man. I'm waiting for a BSS sound pack. Ooh, I need to turn off some extra plugins here. That just reminded me. Actually, let's go outside. Listen to the APU spool up, and I'm going to disable some of these plugins that we don't need. Don't need Project Fly, don't need the old landing speed. And we don't need Gizmo right now, or Pilot Edge, or Real View for that matter. And we don't need Airfoil Labs X-Jet. I know that can cause some crashes. Everything else looks pretty standard. I got the APU fire. So yeah, the reason I don't fly the 321 much is because of the sound pack. But this is the updated 321+FMOD sound. So we're going to take a listen to that. APU sounds pretty good. Carter says, now remember, 18,000 feet is the transition level. Oh, you know it, man. Guys, I'm excited. I'm going to be headed back to work here in July. And it is, I'm looking forward to it. You know, I'm blessed enough to be able to be looking forward to be headed back to work. So this is all good practice for me here. Back in the States, back where it's hot. We'll get on with it here. Mr. Dillon, what's going on, man? Good to see you here. He says, V1, how's your day going? Personally, I'm in a bad mood because this week is the last time a French-registered Boeing 74 passenger will fly. That's a little bummer there, Mr. Dillon. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm doing pretty good, however. Just remember, Mr. Dillon, every plane is eventually going to, its lifespan will eventually meet its extinction, or that doesn't really make sense, but basically every plane is going to retire at some point. It is sad, though, don't get me wrong, man. I remember seeing when United retired all their 74s. It was pretty sad to see that, so. All right, airport information, 20-9 for Kennedy. Look at that. Excellent. Got a good air rack in there. Initialize. We're going KJFK. Wow, my box seems really laggy. Wow. Way to not program that right at all. It's been a minute since I've been on an Airbus, I feel like. To Charlotte. CLT. I'm having a hard time finding the keys I want to find. We are going as Cactus 513. Gotta love it. Cost index of 55. Cruise altitude, according to our PDC, is 340. We'll go ahead and press the align button there. Flight plan departure off of Kennedy. We're expecting the Kennedy 5. So let's listen to the ATIS really quick here. 2872. See what runway they're using for departure. I feel so out of touch with US airports again here. It's 128.725, right? I'm not hearing anything. Oh, you know what I need to do as well is bind this really quick here to... Oh, that is to do nothing. So settings, push to talk. All right, we got that working. 2872, I'm not picking up an ATIS, which is interesting. All right, we'll just look at it here. So we've got wind 200 at 10. Man, I don't know which way they would be departing. Let's look at the departure procedure itself. Kennedy 5. There's a vector departure. Well, I guess we can just plan on 22 right. We'll just plan on 22 right for departure. We'll see what happens. We'll see if they change it. 22 right. JFK 5. We can hide you, pull you back up here. Plan mode, zoom it way out. JFK 5. Insert. Basically a manual departure is what that is. Yeah, pretty much just straight out. And then it says, quote on our PDC to Robbinsville. So we're going right out to Robbinsville, RBV. Man, I love having fixes that I remember what they are. Robbinsville, we're going to pick up airway J230. Out to Copes intersection. COPES. Insert. From Copes, we're going to pick up... Oh, you know what? I screwed that up. I should have just left it in the airway. It would have been easier to program. That's right. Well, from Copes, we'll go J75 to Gordonsville, Golf Victor Echo. And then we can insert that. Off of Gordonsville, we are going to go direct to Lynchburg, I believe. Lima Yankee Hotel. And then the Chesley 4 into 18 Center. Man, I wonder where they got that from, huh? Arrival 18 Center. Chesley 4. Off of LYH. I think that's Lynchburg. Is that Lynchburg? I don't know. Anyway. So vector departure, pick up the airways down into Charlotte. We'll leave the disco coming into the box there. That looks fantastic. Put you back into arc mode. Cactus 1549. What's up, man? He says, sorry I couldn't fly with you, V1. I don't know Vatsim that well. Enjoy the Cactus and Charlotte love. As a matter of fact, I'm starting on my job in Charlotte tomorrow. If you need a discount on fuel, hit me up. Cactus 1549. Cheers, buddy. I will. If you, flying guitars, yeah, man. If you got the ATIS, let it rip, dude. Cactus 1549, though, man. Don't be too threatened by ATC. I'm going to try to take my time with ATC today and then in the next stream as well. And then hopefully we can do a group flight this weekend and you guys will be a little bit more confident. So once we get to the ATC part of things, I'll really try to slow down and explain what I'm doing with air traffic control. That way you guys will have a little bit more confidence when we head into our group flight. All right, KJFK here in the secondary. Secondary one more time, or second time, arrival. If we blow an engine, we're just going to come right back around 22 right. It's a long dry runway. Insert that. Secondary one more time, perf page, all the way over to the approach. Oops, one too many. QNH outside is, according to this thing, 2994. 29.94. Temperature outside of the Airbus is 2.5. You know what? I turned the APU on, but I didn't even turn the bleed on, I bet. 200 at 10 knots. This is just in case we blow an engine. It is the Toliss, guys. It is the Toliss, so we do have possibility of faults, which is, I absolutely love that. Yeah, look at that. I had the APU on, wasting fuel, but I did not even get the air blowing. We no longer need the external ground power. We'll turn you off. We'll go ahead and disconnect ground service, please, Gerald. Those packs spinning up, I absolutely love it. Oh, flying guitar. Sorry, you got a little. You got. You got spanked there by Nightbot. Apologize, man. Thank you for the ATIS, though. I was able to unhide it. I could see it. So Kennedy ATIS information Papa 200 at 17. Yeah, that's actually significant. We might put that in there. 200 at 17. 10 miles, few, blah, blah, temperature 25, 29 or 9 or 2. Oh, perfect. We'll keep it standard. 29 or 9 or 2. Nice day in Kennedy, actually. 22 left, departing 22 right. We got it right. Bird in vicinity of the airport. All right. Thank you very much, Flying Guitarist. Sorry that Nightbots spanked you there. All right, so we got our secondary done. RadNav page. We aren't going to hard tune anything in the RadNav page. Init B. We do need to set our init B. We need 18.7 for fuel. And since we do not have pounds, for some reason, I don't understand the thinking behind that. Toliss, I mean, I do. They just don't want to do it. It's their bird. But, man, it's annoying for us American folk trying to convert kilograms to pounds here. So we need 18.7 in pounds. So a rough estimation here, just doing it off my phone, is 4... Well, that's not right. Oh, pounds to kilograms. There we go. Pounds to kilograms. I almost did kilograms to pounds. That's a lot of fuel. I was like, I don't think we can take that much. 8.5. It is Charlotte and it is Kennedy, so I'm going to just take 9. Because this is Sim World, and I love being able to add as much fuel as I want to. Let's fill this bird up, though. What? 0 fuel weight? We don't need all this cargo here. Hold on. Let's pull that F cargo out of there. And let's distribute these passengers equal. We don't. That's a lot of cargo. Geez, 2 kilos, 2 tons, 21. That'll look good, I think. Flaps 1+F active. Yoga thrust, of course. Apply these load settings, and we are refueled. So what do we have now? We've got a 0 fuel weight of 72.2 with a CG value of 24.3%. Block fuel, 9.0. So, I mean, if I were in real life, I wouldn't be able to just add fuel like that. I'd have to, I mean, I could add a couple 100 pounds here and there, but there are limitations on how much fuel you can add from your flight plan. But, man, Charlotte isn't terrible, but just New York's airspace in general, man. Anytime you go into New York, you need to have extra gas. So we got an hour 15 extra. That looks good. 9.0. No alternate filed or required. Route reserve 5.0. Taxi fuel. Can we? Well, let us change this. Hey, good on you, Toliss. Look at that. I changed my taxi fuel 0.4 just in case. Takeoff weight 80.8. That looks good to me. So we'll come over here. We'll set our speeds. We're going full yoga thrust because I definitely want to hear these FT sims. I want to see how they sound without any flexing. So we're going to go 160, 160, 164. Flaps 1. And flex takeoff temp is 0, so that looks good to me. We can go ahead and close up some doors here. Let's go ahead and close you, close you. So we'll start closing everything up, run a couple checklists, and we're going to get out of here. We don't have that lovely hydraulic sound from the flight factor that I really miss. So that looks good. We'll go ahead and I believe I'm supposed to turn this to on to start some announcements maybe. I don't know, man, that wind is ripping those N1 fans around. There's another cactus bird down the way there. Gotta love that. Yep, don't have to worry about engine wear either, man. Gotta love it. Alright, so New York approach is 2812. We can hide the ground handling. So I hear some announcements going on back there. Alright, let me pull out my checklist. If I still have it here, hopefully. I gotta re-log in. Oh, it's gonna make me, let's see. Just let me log in with my PIN code. There we go, it did. Alright, cool. All right, before start checklist, maintenance log and tail number, that's on board and checked. Cockpit prep is completed. Gear pins and covers removed, that'd be behind the captain's seat. Signs, we are on and auto. ADIRS, nav, fuel. 8.5 required, 9 on board. Altimeters 2992 set. EFB check. Windows, doors, and slides. They're closed and armed. Beacon is on. Thrust levers, idle, parking brake is on. Transponder, we do need to squawk. Our squawk from our PDC was 1027. I actually haven't heard these announcements before. I'm trying to see what they sound like. Damon, what's going on, man? He says, hey, I'm about to start my private at Embry-Riddle. Awesome, dude. Congratulations. Go Eagles. In 2 weeks, I was asking if you have any advice for a brand new student pilot. Damien Small, if I have any advice for you going to Riddle, are you going to be in the Florida campus? If you go to the Florida campus, man, don't get too distracted chasing well, if you are a male, or I mean, just it could be a female too, but a lot of distractions in Daytona Beach, Florida. I think you know where I'm going with that. Try to stay focused, but my number one tip to anybody starting out private pilot, sometimes getting in the airplane for real for the first time can be intimidating, and you feel like the airplane is flying you. If you develop a habit in your head, Tim Simmering, a $20 bomb. Thank you so much, man. He says, hi, Captain. Welcome back home. Hope you're doing great. Tim, thank you so much for your donation, man. Positive rates off to you, sir. Very, very much appreciated. I am doing great. I hope you're doing well, man. Thank you for your contribution here to the channel. Sorry there, Damien. But yeah, so what I would say is you want to develop a pattern of thinking that is, do not let the airplane fly you. I don't care if you're new to the airplane, if it's your first flight, or if it's your 100th flight in the airplane. Never let the airplane fly you. If you find the airplane is doing something that you don't want it to do, you need to correct it. You are in charge of that bird. You are the PIC. You are acting PIC, even as a student pilot. So that's my tidbit to you, man. I tell that to everybody. So it applies to private pilots, commercial pilots, all the way through, man. All right, top altitude. Let's get off this gate here. We've been sitting here. Top altitude, 5,000 feet, 2992 LS push buttons are on. Let's get a pushback tug in here.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
Well, I think we're gonna. Let's just do. I really don't know how I want to be pushed back here. We don't want to go onto the taxiway, and there's no plane at that gate. So what the heck? We'll just do that. I don't even remember. I probably should have been tail the other way, because that'd make a right-hand turn out on the taxiway. So I guess I do need to call New York approach. Do I call New York approach for taxi? I guess so, right? 2812.
Golf 6, Roger, cleared through the New York Glasgow airspace. Maintain VFR at or below 1,500.
Michael, what's up, man? It says United 450 here, a little way away on Terminal B. Excellent, man. All right, so before start engine, oh, that's we already did all that before start checklist.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Got it. United right there. Gotta love it.
Delta 473, New York approach. Applies recap information pap on board. Altimeter 2992, expect ILS runway 22 left.
Alright, altimeter 2992, ILS.
Dixon, Robin, welcome to the channel, man. Exclamation point. Welcome.
87 with a contact, traffic 12 o'clock.
Thank you for joining the channel, my friend. Exclamation point welcome. If you need any more questions answered about your got your new perks here, glad to have you on board, man.
Not in contact with me. For right now, turn
my trans altitude is still set at 5,000. You're right, it is. I need to set that up.
Release parking brake.
18,000 feet there.
Delta 887 traffic should be no factor. He's turning back towards LaGuardia. But I mean, that's fine, just letting you know.
Alright. Okay, well, as soon as I get clearance to push.
Delta 88, Philadelphia approach offline. Data services terminated, frequency change period. American 1216, wind 240 at 11, ghost 18, runway 22 left, clear to land.
Line 22 left, American 1216.
Delta 887, climb and maintain 2000.
Ramp 34. Gate 34. And New York approach. Good afternoon, Cactus 513, gate 34, ready to push.
Cactus 513, pushing start is at your discretion, advisory for taxi, squawk normal.
Alright, we'll squawk 1027 and push and start our discretion, Cactus 513. I guess.
And 513, squawk mode Charlie.
Squawk mode Charlie. Got it. Thank you, Cactus 513. I thought that's what he said, and then I thought he said squawk mode normal, and I was like, maybe that's a Vatsim thing. We got mode Charlie on so he can see us. Doors and windows are closed. Let's get out of here, guys. Brakes released. We're clear to push.
Starting pushback. And you may start engine.
Well, let's go. Have you ever flown into Newark, New Jersey, Alex? Yes, I have, man. A lot of times. That is a cluster, too.
887, cleared, direct, wavy. Climb and maintain 17,000.
Do the econ flow on after takeoff? It will depend on passenger load. With this load, we should not have any econ flow on. I'm going to turn it off. There we go. We can hear the fans kicking on now. We've got almost a full load. We're not going to have econ flow on today. Thank you for the subscribe there, F-Fizz.
Direct, wavy. Climb and maintain 17,000.
Dixon, Robin, what's up, man? Hey, boss, happy to be here. You ever find yourself around Nashville? I do, actually. Yes. I'm a lead ramp down there. Hope you're doing well. Dixon, awesome news, man. If I do go into Nashville, I don't know what our schedules are going to look like. I've been on leave. You guys have known this since March. So once I get my schedule back, I know there's quite a few you guys that are ground handlers, ground agents and stuff. So if I ever am in the area, I will definitely give you guys a holler. I do love Nashville, though. Beautiful place, man. I love Nashville. Oh, mode normal is another way to say mode Charlie? Okay. I learned something new right there.
887.
Thank you for the subscribe, Darth.
Center offline, weather services terminated, frequency change proof.
Alright, we're going to go ahead and start engine 1. We got bleed pressure, 41 PSI. Fire him off. Alright, FT Sim, talk to me. What do you got here?
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
I'm trying to listen to my engines, man.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
608, short of Alpha, ready taxi.
Why the number 1 engine starting first?
608.
A lot of times I get asked that question, man. If you are going to single engine taxi, if there's any chance that you're going to single engine taxi, you've got to start engine 1 first. You don't have to, but if you don't and you just go out on 2, you're going to have to listen to the PTU the whole time. I had an Airbus engineer answer this question for me. He said there's no reason to start engine 2 first. So, and plus, it could be company procedure. I'm not saying ignore your company procedures. I know somebody said in Europe that they actually have, was it EasyJet or something, always starts 2 and then 1. So that could be a company thing. But as far as us, we always start engine 1 first. Like today, we are probably going to single engine taxi.
Has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time.
We might be too heavy. We'll see. 81.3. How many pounds is that? Yo, electric pump is on. APU bleed is off. We'll attempt to do a single engine taxi. Flaps 1. We'll drop them out.
FedEx 1575, read back correct, advise ready for taxi.
Patrick, what's up, man? He says, finally catching you live, V1, enjoying every single minute of your amazing content, especially enjoy the Euro Tour. Keep up the amazing work. Greetings from South Germany. Patrick, thank you so much for those kind words, man.
Papa Alpha, Papa.
Appreciate it, dude. Welcome to the channel. Glad you can catch us live, man. Engine 1 or bust, Slam Cannon. Dude, that's a great one. That might be another mug. Alright, we're going to try to single engine taxi out on number 1.
Cactus.
Here goes my tug. I need my pin.
Are you ready for taxi? Cactus 327, runway 22 right, taxi via left on Bravo. Echo.
327's taxiing out.
Runway 31 right.
We'll call for. Sorry, so I kind of. How are the sounds before I get going here? Because this is the FT Sim sound pack. If they're too loud, we can turn them down. But I think they're okay right now.
Delta 473, descend maintain 7000. Depart Robert, heading 300 vectors for final.
Descend and maintain 7,000. Exit Robert at 360 for 473.
New York approach, Cactus 513 off of gate 34, ready taxi with Papa.
Cactus 513, runway 22 right, taxi via Sierra, right on Alpha, Whiskey, Charlie, Echo, cross runway 31 right at Whiskey.
All right, 22 right, Sierra Alpha, Whiskey, Charlie, Echo, clear across 31 right at Whiskey for Cactus 513. All right, so.
Cactus 2580 on departure flight runway heading.
Whoa, Toliss.
Donation.
Herman, thank you so much for the $6 donation, man. I appreciate it, dude. I don't see a message with your donation, but I really appreciate. I see an exclamation point. I really appreciate your donation support of the channel, my friend. Thank you, dude. So I kind of read that back fast, and we're going to make a left turn here. So Sierra Alpha. So yeah, I had the nose the wrong direction, and now I got to turn into a dead engine. Oh, I have my tiller on my joystick. Let's see how this works.
473, descend maintain 5.
Turning into a dead engine, or I'm sorry, turning into the operating engine is never good.
473.
This is why I should have pushed the tail the opposite direction. I'm going over some taxi lights, I think. Definitely exceeded my 40% N1 on that one. So Sierra Alpha, right turn on Alpha. So we're coming back to the dead engine now. Which much easier to turn into a dead engine. So in real life, I probably would have had to spin the other way. Probably would have had to made a right 360, or yeah, all the way around and then some. All right, Sierra Alpha Whiskey. So we're going to take Alpha all the way down to Whiskey, and then Charlie, and then we're going to cross 3-1 right at Whiskey. At Whiskey, though? We'll take a look at the signs as we get down. We know we're going to be on Alpha all the way to Whiskey, so we're just going to look for Whiskey next. But as far as reading back taxi instructions, if you don't think that you are able to remember them, and I highly encourage that you don't even try to remember them, I highly encourage that you write them down. What I do in the real airplane is and what I should have done here is I should have went like this: Sierra, Whiskey, Charlie, and that's what I would have in my scratch pad when I get a taxi clearance. Always want to write it down. Also, before you release the parking brake, make sure you know where you're going. As you see where that just bit me, right? I released the parking brake, we started rolling, and then I didn't look at the chart, and by the time I realized we needed to make a left turn, we were already going over some taxi lights, or pretty darn close to going over the taxi lights. So if you want to be as realistic as possible, don't release that parking brake until you've looked at the chart and you know exactly where you need to be going.
Delta 473 cleared, direct Roslyn.
Jeremy Harvey, he says, sorry, I missed the very beginning of the stream. We should have a mug quotes competition. Also, we're having an Airbus quiz today. We might do a little Airbus quiz and cruise, man. Might do a little bit. Altimeter is set 29092, man. So a little quiet with the single engine taxi. How are we with, it's actually not bad when you're in the F4 view, or the shift 4 view, I should say. Alright, I gotta keep my hand on this yoke. So weird. Alright, Sierra Alpha, right turn on...
2580,
oh no.
Contact, climb and maintain
Yeah.
17,000.
Sierra Alpha, Whiskey, cleared across 31 white,
20, runway
Charlie,
right, taxi via right and Alpha, Whiskey,
and then Echo.
Charlie, Echo, cross runway 31 right.
Crossing the bridges. Altimeter happens to be standard already, yep.
Via Alpha, Whiskey, Charlie, Echo, cross 3 right at Whiskey.
X-Plane 1972, what's going on, man? Good to see you on board, dude. Man, you were streaming early this morning. I didn't even realize, as we run over these baggage carts here, I didn't even realize you were streaming. One, because YouTube decided not to give you a notification, and then two, I saw it pop up. I'm like, oh, XP streaming, but it was you completed your stream, so you must have started early, man. But good to have you here, dude. That butter into San Diego was awesome. If you guys haven't already, check out X-Plane 1972. I love his streaming environment. Just very, very cool, very knowledgeable gentleman. I love hanging out over there. Some of you guys have seen me over there in the chat. But good to have you here, XP. Welcome aboard, man. And yes, he did butter a 7.3-300 into San Diego. That is a challenge to do. All right, we're looking for whiskey and then a left turn. Is one engine taxi always done with engine one? Yes, Hudson. Because I mean, you can do it with engine two, but you're going to be running the PTU the whole time, and it's going to be very annoying.
Charlie, Echo, cross runway 31 right at whiskey.
It's not advisable to single engine taxi on two. There's also some other hydraulic logic that you need to be aware of too with brake systems. All right, so this is whiskey here. Left turn onto whiskey. We're clear to cross 31 right. I'm gonna have to turn the air on, man. It is toasty in this room. All right, we're going across the runway here. Let's light it up. I turn on the strobes too, but I'm afraid that will trip the sound pack. As soon as we cross 31 right, we will fire up engine 2. Georgios, thank you so much for the donation, man. He says, great job and keep us educated in aviation. Georgios, thank you so much for your support, man. I absolutely will do that. That is the plan, my friend.
Cactus 327, cross runway 31 right to continue via...
All right, so right turn here on Charlie. And at this point, if I could have Phantom 320 to fire up the engine number 2, please.
Two right line with Cactus 608.
Cactus 2580, New York Center offline, weather services terminated, frequency change approved.
All right, let's go ahead and fire up engine 2. Yellow electric pump is off. APU bleed is on. Now, this is one thing that I don't know if they fixed yet. I should be able to pop up the engine page here by going... Ah, they did fix it. Excellent. Before that would be stuck on that page when you did a single engine taxi. And we'll fire off engine 2 on the rollout. Thank you so much, man. Patrick Ronar, thank you so much for the €5 donation, man. He says, I thought it's time to give back at least a little bit for this prime time entertainment. Patrick, thank you, man. Really appreciate your support. Thank you, thank you. The flight surgeon. I got you guys out of order there. Flight surgeon. Thank you, man. $5 donation as well. Says, finally earning again. So here is a small dono. Keep up the good content and would love to see you fly in India or ZME Center soon. Ooh. Flight surgeon. Great idea, man. Thank you so much for your support. I will definitely keep that in mind. We're going to have to discuss about the next tour. Where are we going to be headed in the next tour? I do not know yet. But thank you both. Thank you, Flight Surgeon Patrick, for your donation here on the channel. Appreciate that. Hey, Phantom is in chat. Excellent. All right, it looks like we've got a good start on engine numero dos. That can come back to normal. Flaps are already set. APU can come offline. I think that's how it goes. Phantom, not doing your job, man. XP says, I don't miss JFK, and it's 1 hour taxi time. I hear you, man. I put on another 500 kilos of fuel just because of JFK, even though we're on Vatsim. All right, so Charlie, left turn, Echo. Let's run our flight control checks. Full up, full down, neutral, full left, full right, neutral, rudder, full left, full right, neutral. Guys, check this out here real quick. I know we already checked the flaps or flight controls, but look at those spoilers. Look at the dirt on the wing. Oh, look at that. Absolutely love it. All right, so Charlie, left turn, Echo. It's not this left one, it's the second one. So flight controls are checked. Let's do our flow. Auto brakes max. Takeoff config. PWS can come on. Auto. We are in TARA mode. Ding the flight attendants. We'll run a checklist here. Alright, before takeoff, gross weight comparison is complete. Pitch trim.
5,000.
I gotta check that.
410,
Brent!
12,
Thank you for the 5 Canadian. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate your donation. He says, loving the stream. Really enjoyed. Did I mess up my taxi here?
right, American.
No. Must have given.
450 cleared direct Robbinsville. Climb and maintain 17,000.
My taxiway is different than the actual airport. Rit?
Lufthansa 400 heavy, turn right, heading 310.
Brent, I'm sorry, man. I got distracted there. Loving the stream. Really enjoyed the Airbus landing to next. All I can say is more. Brent, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. I'm going to be taxed with my freaking lights on like a noob. Wow. You guys didn't even catch that after we crossed that runway. I never shut them off. Thank you, Brent. I appreciate your support on the channel, man. There is going to be more will be coming. Exclamation point livery is not working. LIVERY. Let me see.
United 450, New York Center offline. Better service terminated frequency change.
Donation.
Oh, there's two links. Guys. So there is the first link there is the PayPal link if you want to buy the man a coffee for his work, and then the second link there, it does work. It's just when you call it up, it's the one to the right. Sorry about the confusion. I tried to space it out, but I couldn't do it to the Nightbot command. So it's just there's a small space. You can see there's two links. 19 Adam 99. That's his dono link if you guys want to buy him a cup of coffee, and the download, which is free and it's not required, is on the little bit further to the right there. No, that 320. So he has different scenery than me. So Echo should go straight ahead, but Echo does not go straight ahead for me. So I have an outdated scenery, I guess. So that's kind of a shame. But that's just part of limitations. I got to run a quick checklist here. Before takeoff, gross weight comparison is complete. Pitch trim, what did we need? Up 0.8. 0.8% CG set. V1, VR, V2 flex. 160, 160, 164. No flex. Set.
17,000 direct Robbinsville, Cactus.
Flaps. Config 1+F. 1+F. Flight instruments. We are check. Climb nav 1, 2 FD. That looks good.
Cactus 513 on departure. Fly runway heading, runway 22 right, clear for takeoff.
Runway heading 22 right, clear for takeoff. Cactus 513. Alright, so we're going to finish our checklist on the rollout here.
New York approach, FedEx 1575 heavy. We've got the information, ready to taxi 22 right.
Finish this taxi out here. V1, VR, V2 flex. 160, 160, 164, no flex set. Flight instruments checked. Flight controls checked. ECAM memo. Takeoff all green. ECAM status checked. PWS is on. TCAS. Code set TARA. Cabin crew advised. Mini brief is complete. Takeoff runway. We got 22 right confirmed. Fuel 8.5 required, 8.7 on board. Engine mode selector is normal. Bleeds and packs are set for takeoff. Checklist completed. So runway heading out of here off of Kennedy 232.
Alright, quick change approved, taxi 608. We'll see you. Thanks for your ATC.
Avio man, what's going on, man? Welcome to the chat, dude. Look at that guy landing over there. Awesome. Back in my 321, man. Let's nail this lineup here. No excuses. Ooh, this one's looking good. This one's looking good. Ooh, yeah. We're cleared to go. All right, up to 5,000 feet. 232 on the heading. Stand them up. 50%. Here we go. Mantoga SRS runway, auto thrust blue. Ooh, the inside sound is pretty good. I'll buy that. I'll buy that inside sound. 80 knots, thrust set. Neutral by 100.
Hotel, hold short, 22 right, Delta 4783.
4
I can buy that inside sound for a 321. V1, rotate nice and smooth there, 3 degrees per second. Don't hit that tail. Positive right, gear up. Flyby.
Delta 473 cross, runway 228 at control deck, to the right, via right and out.
Oh yeah.
Subscriber ahead.
400 feet, pool heading, please.
Cross 22 right.
Thank you for the subscribe, man.
Cactus 513, radar contact, climb and maintain 6,000.
Come and maintain 6,000, Cactus 513. It's hard to look outside, fly the airplane, start the chrono, get the gear up, disarm the spoilers, all at the same time here. Goodbye, New York. I'm going to have to fix that airport. I don't really like that airport scenery. It doesn't blend with the ortho very good. All right, here's positive trend in airspeed. Thrust climb. Auto thrust.
Subscriber ahead. Look.
Thank you for the subscribe there. Do I always stop and spool them up, or is it situational? It's really situational. I was a little late, Chris, on that spool up there, so I kind of panicked and held the brakes because I was. If you noticed, I was rolling pretty good at idle thrust when I took the runway, and if I would have waited.
513, cleared at direct Robbinsville, climb and maintain 17,000.
Direct Robbinsville, climb and maintain 17,000, Cactus 513. Direct Robbinsville, up to 13,000. Autopilot 1. Let's retract these flaps here. Oh, we already got the flaps up. Auto retract. There goes the slats. So on that takeoff in particular, I got a little antsy there because I felt like I was rolling too much. So I applied the brakes there and let the engine spool up to 50. But no, ideally, if I'm on my game, I can kind of get those engines spooled up to 50% just before we finish that turnout, that rollout. So as soon as we roll out straight on the runway, if we've already got our takeoff clearance, boom, you just let those thrust levers go and you get out of here. All right, we're thrust climb open, climb up to 13,000. Airplane is cleaned up, 5.4. Let's do a flyby shot on these sounds here. Not terrible. That's a cool shot with New York City in the background.
Runway 6000, Cactus 2020.
Swappy! I missed your donation, dude. I'm sorry, man. It got crazy. Thank you so much for your $1 dono, man. He says, do Asia tour next. And Paro, Bhutan. Also trip to my home city, Mumbai. Stay safe and keep up with the great content. Swappy, thank you so much for your support, man. I definitely want to do one of those, was it Paro, Bhutan? Am I saying that right? Bhutan? I saw it on YouTube. I think you guys were posting it in the Discord. And it's crazy. I would love to do that approach, man. So it'll happen, Swappy. I just don't know when, but that's a good idea. Thank you for your support, man.
New York Center offline, better service system, netted frequency change approved.
All right, frequency change approved. Thanks for your ETC today, Cactus 513. We'll see ya.
Cactus 2020 cleared, direct Robbinsville,
Awesome.
climb and maintain 17,000.
That was cool. 122.8 on the VHF. We're direct Robbinsville, 9, climbing 12,000. Oh, that's nice. OT says, too bad we don't have a truly good JFK scenery for X-Plane. So, okay, so I'm not the only one. I couldn't really find... I think the ones that are out there might be just a little bit outdated. I was really hoping there would be something really recent, but I guess it's not. Man, look at that ortho blend down there. That looks so nice. Little harbor right here. All right, there's 10,000 feet. Let's go ahead and turn the lights off. Let them know we're up through 10,000. Start doing their thing. How's our cabin temperature? 20. That looks good. Man, I wish it's probably warmer than that in my room right now. All right, we don't need these charts anymore. Let's go ahead and get rid of these. And let's preemptively pull up Charlotte. And we are planning on 1/8 on the Chesley, so we'll pull up the Chesley 4 RNAV. Excellent. Yeah, Lynchburg all the way down. That's us. Long arrival into Charlotte Douglas International. Oh yeah. Absolute juice, Carta. I agree. Crazy is a slight understatement with Bhutan. Hudson, what's up, man? He says, happy to see someone flying into the Charlotte. Should be sunny and warm when you land. I'm looking forward to it, Hudson. Yeah, it should be a great day of flying. Flying Guitarist says, hey, you one right in front of you, doing 300 in the climb. Can do faster if it helps. Awesome. So that's you in front of me, Flying Guitarist. Right now, we are looking... We're looking pretty good, man. I'm doing... Well, let's see. I'm not going to let her climb out that fast. I'm going to do... Let's do a 3... I'm going to do a 3... I'll tell you what. I'm going to do 310. Why don't you do 320 in the climb out, man, just so we keep our spacing. I'm gonna dial it back to 310, and my filed altitude was 340. So I'm up to 310 knots. You're in front of me. Why don't you do 320? That should be a good spacing. Shin Sound. Thank you so much, man, for the donation. 179. Something Cronin. God, that one gets me every time. Thank you so much for your support, man. He says, really appreciate your streams and hoping for a speedy return to your captain's seat. Get a bottle of nice wine for you and Mrs. V1. Shin Sound, thank you so much, man. I actually did buy a bottle of wine today. We're celebrating the closing on this house, and things are moving along pretty good here with the move and transitioning, so I will definitely enjoy it. Shin Sound, thank you so much, man, for your support. I really appreciate it. And, gosh, what? SEK? It's the Swedish. It's got to be a Swedish Cronin, right? I'm pretty sure it's Swedish Cronin. If I'm wrong, I'm sure you guys will correct me. Yep, Cactus 5049, the Soli arrival, and Skiles. Oh yeah, Skiles, Blue Jays, Dents. Oh yeah. Looks like we're going to enter some type of cloud layer here, in and out of the clouds. Temperatures are right at 10°C. Oh, it's free. Why not? Let's turn them on. Flyby shot. These flyby sounds aren't that bad, man. I'm not going to lie, for the FMOD 321, that's not bad. Not bad. Oh, that's kind of cool, going through the clouds right there. I absolutely love this livery, man. From where did I get the nice scenery, Blockbuster? It is Fork Boy Ortho. Yep, it is all Fork Boy Ortho photos. Chris says, I'm 255 from Charlotte. I'll butter the runway and get the red carpet out. Excellent, Chris. I expect nothing less than a butter, man. Have I flown into San Diego? It's my favorite airport in hometown. Flaps 40, you bet, man. I love San Diego. I love the overnight there. There's a really good dessert place that we stay next to. I can't think of the name of it. Let me turn down some of these. Oh, you know what? The FMOD sounds change. They change the... There we go, a little bit quieter. I need to get that plug-in still that everyone has for adjusting sounds. I love San Diego, man. The overnight, we stay next to a really, really nice restaurant, or I'm sorry, dessert place. And I love the desserts they got there, man. It's really nice. How do you know if bad weather is above you or below you? Weather radar and ATC reports. You know, if you're looking at a whole line of weather, one of the most common questions asked is, what are the tops at? That way guys can figure out if they're going to fly, if they can top it, if they can fly above it, or if they're going to have to go through it, pick their way around it. So asking ATC, and also you can tilt the radar up. There's a formula. We're getting a really bad stutter here. What is going on? I don't like the looks of that. Looks like it smoothed itself out. Have I tried the Vulcan beta yet? No, I really want to, William. But there's just too many planes still that I really enjoy that aren't compatible yet, so I'm holding out. Phantom says, Santa's awesome. I love that overnight. Enjoy the LAX Long 2. Yeah, the LAX Long 2 is great. There's a good crepe place down the street, man. I love crepes. I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you guys know what crepes are. But, oh, LA's got an awesome little breakfast crepe place. Have I ever flown into PWM? Is that, oh my goodness, Portland, Maine? I feel bad now. I should know that identifier. This is how out of touch I am. PWM. Yeah, Portland, Maine. Portland International Jetport. Yep. The hotel we used to stay at, we used to get really like crew discount lobster rolls. Oh, I love Portland, Maine. Doing the harbor visual, that's the one where you come in and it's almost a better visual than the river visual into DC. We should do that. I'm going to have to take a look, see if there's any good sceneries for Portland, Maine, and that would be a great stream, I think, for you guys. There is a really beautiful visual approach into Portland, Maine, up on the northeast here in the U.S., and in real life anyway, I mean, you hit the island, you turn left, it's like the river visual in the DCA, but in real life, I think it's even better than the DCA river visual. I just don't know if there's good enough scenery for it. I'll have to check it out. Oh, Jeremy says Salt Lake is my home airport. I love it. They are building a new terminal. I hear the controllers there are friendly. Is Salt Lake nice for pilots? I haven't been to Salt Lake in a long time, man, but I never had an issue there. I think one of my most memorable times in Salt Lake was actually flying a Citation in there. And I remember it just being terrible icing conditions. And on the ramp, is it Cutter? I can't remember who handled us there. I ended up running into one of my old buddies who was flying freight in a Cessna 210. And he was about to, and I'm sitting there debating about, man, this is going to be tough. And here we are on a Citation jet. And I've run into my buddy who's getting ready to go in a Cessna 210. I was like, yeah, man, I'm going. Freight dogs. YOLO. And I was like, well, I guess I have nothing to worry about if he's going in a Cessna 210. But that was one. I definitely remember that night. Big time ice. Thank you for the subscribe there, Ant. Appreciate it. I wonder how much hard drive space all the Fork Boys take. A dream list. I can tell you right now, man, I don't even have all of the U.S. covered. But right now, I have 1 terabyte. It's completely full of Fork Boy Ortho. And about 300 gigs on an HDD. That is all Fork Boy. And I think I'm missing some of the Midwest areas. It takes a lot, man. It takes a lot of space. But that just looks awesome, does it not? I mean, good night. I'll zoom out a little bit so it's a little bit quieter. That just looks so awesome. OT says Aero Designs is working on a payware Portland, Maine. The previews look very nice. Don't know when it'll be released, yo. I'll have to check it out, man. ORBX has the Portland, Maine? Really? I did not know that. I will check it out, Dixon. Phantom says mine's at 4 terabytes and I'm still missing tiles. Yeah. So what's interesting is before this stream, I normally have all my stuff on SSDs, but I'm running out of room. So I put the mid-Atlantic sector of Fork Boy on an HDD. We're going to, hopefully we don't have any issues going across here. I mean, but just look at that. Are you serious? And here comes my dog. That is real life. That is too cool, man. Goodness. Is that DCA over there? That looks like DCA. Or no, that can't be DC. Is that Philly? That's Philly. Is that Philly? Where are we? Oh, we're flying over. What did we just look at? Yeah, that's Philadelphia. I should know that, being based there for as long as I was. City of Brotherly Love. Might need a bigger drive than 8 terabytes? Yeah, you might, man. The entire Fork Boy US ortho takes about 1.6 terabytes. If you were to do the remaining US, it is about 2.3 terabytes. Eee. All right. Wash says rank the Washington D.C. visual or the Portland visual. I would put the Portland, Maine river, or let's see, it's called the harbor visual in Portland, Maine. I would rank that an 8 versus, you know what? I'd rank it a 9, and I would put the DCA river visual an 8. So that would be it. Andre says, would you consider releasing an A320 checklist to us? Omitting any company procedures, of course. Andre, yeah, I don't see why not. We have one that's slightly older, so basically how it works for us here is, you know, you have a pretty not a basic, but you have a checklist, but sometimes there's a change, and then that change has to get certified, and then you omit things that either add something or remove something. So I have a checklist that was just changed. We just updated our checklist not too long ago to a new version, so I could probably upload the one that was one version out of date for you guys. I just gotta remember to do it. But the way ours works is, and I saw a lot of you guys, I was watching it too, the flight deck to sim stream in the A319, and he did a great job flying it. And the checklist that he was using, the X checklist for the 320 and 319, is a very, very, very extensive checklist. And the way it works for us at my company is we have a very basic checklist. It's a small card, the front side, back side, and most of the items get accomplished in what we call flow patterns. So you get to the cockpit, you have a flow, you do the flow, and it's done. You do the checklist and you check some key items on the flow, but you're not necessarily checking every single thing that you did on your flow. So if you're reading a checklist and you realize, oh man, I didn't do my flow, a lot of stuff is going to be out of order, not just the items on the checklist. And getting some stutters coming across this mid-Atlantic ortho. I wonder if that's because it's on an HDD. I don't know. Hudson says, I just have ortho for large places like Atlanta, Charlotte, New York, SFO, and LA. That's a good way to do it, man, especially if you're tight on space. The entire U.S. Oh, Dimitri's got it all right here. The entire U.S., Europe, Russia, and Lower Canada is about 6.1 terabytes. Oh my goodness, Dimitri. That's insane. Thank you for the subscribe, football. Appreciate it, man. All right. Let's see where we are here. We're 29.9. Ooh, almost caught myself. Remember, we talked about that? And we're already standard, so we can set standard. But there I go again. Selected speed. Almost caught myself climbing up to 340. Almost overspeeded there. Let's get this airplane to react. Matter of fact, we'll transition to Mach. And what's our climb out Mach? Yeah, that looks better. Almost reaching top of climb, and I should have turned these off a long time ago. Nice and smooth out here. Let's go ahead and turn the seatbelt sign off. Oh man, I just screwed up all the sounds, because that's one thing that I wish would be supported is like a mouse wheel. You can't mouse wheel these switches. Makes it so much easier, I think, to be able to mouse wheel them. All right, we're 31.4, climbing 340. Let's come down here, do a quick systems check, make sure everything is copacetic. Fuel looks good. High pressure valves are closed. That is good. Doors are closed. Electrics look good. Everything's picking up their own load. Hydraulics look slightly over-serviced, but that's all right. Still in the green arc. Nothing in the center tank. Ooh, we're a tad out of balance. What do you say we'd move a little bit of fuel around? Yeah, so we're going to open the crossfeed valve. I had to take a second to look at this overhead here. I'm like, wait a second, ACT tank. And we're going to turn the right tank pumps off. Clear the caution, that's associated. So now we should be burning down to this tank faster. Yeah, I looked at that fuel pump there, and that fuel panel. I'm like, wow, that was a little bit different. That ACT switch threw me off. And we don't have any ACT tanks on this aircraft, so that wouldn't really be there. But left transfer, right tank pumps, everything looks good. We'll leave the ECAM memo up, we'll leave the fuel page up. And it should start to balance itself out here. We'll see what happens. 3260, 3620. Looks like we're going the wrong direction here. Well, that is interesting. And I should have done this as well. Thank you for the subscribe there. Appreciate it, man. What would you normally consider out of balance for fuel? In pounds, you know, once we get anything over 500 pounds, I'll probably start moving fuel around. There are out of balance limitations. Okay, this is not working as intended here. This doesn't apply to us because we don't even have ACT tanks. Okay. Phantom, if you're still in the chat, dude, am I losing my mind here? Oh my gosh, I'm an idiot. Yeah, I am. Toliss is right. Wow. Low side pumps off. Duh. Because we want to burn more out of this tank. Okay. So, there you go, guys. Definitely not a professional when it comes to Airbus. I mean, I made a mistake there. So low side pumps off when you want to transfer fuel. So engine ignition on, open the crossfeed valve first, and then shut off your pumps that you want to move fuel from. So we're not really moving fuel. We've talked about this here before on the channel. You're not really moving fuel to the right tank. What we're doing is we're minimizing the burn from this left tank, and we're going to burn more from the right tank to get it down to an equal balance here. Now what will happen is if you have the fuel pumps and crossfeed open, you're going to get extra fuel going to this engine. So what happens is that's going to go through the fuel return line and it's going to go back into the tank. So you're technically not transferring fuel, even though a little bit of transfer does happen. What we are doing is we're burning off to balance the tank here. So that looks good. We'll keep an eye on it. We're almost 100 kilos out, so it's not too crazy. We'll leave the caution on. Actually, I'll kill that caution, leave this ECAM memo up here so we know what's going on. Here comes Binks. So where are we at? Over Binks intersection. Getting ready to go over Washington, Dulles. We'll stay in the cockpit here until our fuel gets balanced. Almost there. 3370. That looks close enough to me. Pumps back on. Crossfeed valve can come off, back to normal mode, and that'll clear our fuel page out. There we go. So we're back on it. Nice and balanced now. AP is off. Temperatures are looking good. Doors are all closed. Wheel page is good. Flight controls are normal. Flyby. Man, I want to do a cabin tour, but these freaking orthos, are you serious? These look so good. I haven't flown over the Mid-Atlantic orthos yet. These look so good. Orion says, V1 quizzed us, and we failed. Yeah, I totally, man, out of touch for sure. Woodford Reserve. I'm actually on the beer today, man. I'm on the shock top. I've been working hard moving to the storage unit and stuff, getting stuff moved around today, so nice cold beer sounded better than going right into the Woodford. You need to get back to work and a routine. Glenn Chambers, I agree, man. Deep mental, if you're running a little late in real life, what kind of things can you do in flight to recover without breaking some SOP, if anything? D, so what we can do is we can try to get directs from air traffic control. That would be our number one way of getting a faster time en route, is getting a shortcut with air traffic control. We could also bump up the cost index. So if we got extra gas, that is, only if we got extra gas will I really mess with the cost index. And you can go to cost index 99. Look like I'm missing a couple tiles there, actually. That's not good. We won't look at those. But if we bump up the cost index, that can help shave a few minutes off. Thing is, you got to be careful with increasing your cost index, because if you are going, you know, maybe it's a transcon or a really far flight, and you're cost indexed at 5, and you go to 99, that's going to be a significant fuel burn. So as long as you have the fuel, you can adjust your speed and air traffic control routing if they allow you. But other than those two things, it's pretty much all you've got to shorten up our time en route. Costa says, do you think it's worth getting a degree in university for piloting, which takes 5 years, or better to go into flight school for 2.5 years? Costas, if I'm being... Here's the thing, man. If I'm being honest with you, try to get a degree, even if you go to an aviation academy, try to get a degree in something a little bit different than flying. You know, get something, maybe go the engineering route, or maybe weather. Just so you have something to fall back on, because look at our current times right now. You got a ton of pilots that are out on the street and that are furloughed. You know, things are picking up, so maybe they're going to get their jobs back here relatively soon. Maybe it's going to take a year, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. But if you have something to fall back on, that's always a good idea. So I would kind of think about that rather than what is, you know, if you should go to an aviation college or not. It doesn't matter if you go to aviation college or not. Just make sure you have something you can fall back on in case you lose your medical or another coronavirus comes out or something. But I hope that answers your question, man. Are the SATCOMs for getting Wi-Fi? Yes, Streamless, they are. Thank you, Dougal. Like the ortho? I think it looks pretty darn good, man. John Devlin, thank you for the subscribe. FS Experience, thanks for the cool stream yesterday with the Concorde. That was awesome. Picked it up and also with the Siva payware and started her successful with your help, but the X-Plane 11 crashed. Aw, dude, that's a bummer, man. You know what? It might be the Concorde's fault. The Concorde is really heavy on performance. I think it needs a little bit more optimization, but it is a blast to fly. I'm glad you got it. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Don't let it get you down, man. Start it up, get another flight, and get ripping through the skies with those reheats, because it is fun. This looks like a little power line cut out right here. Man, these orthos are so... I'm impressed every time I fly over this stuff. And that livery, too, is just... Alright, let's do a quick cabin tour while we're up here. Let's do a cabin tour. Well, at least we don't have to worry about flushing the toilet at Mach 2. No toilet here, unfortunately. Concorde is still the first airplane I've ever flown with that has an actual toilet modeled. And a flush switch, which is pretty cool. Thank you, Assad, for the subscribe, man. Welcome. Alright, into the cabin here. Not too shabby, not too shabby. All economy class, so US Airways actually had a pretty significant first class cabin. Oh, that looks cool. Work our way to the back here. I like hearing how the FMOD sound is changing. It's pretty good. It's not BSS by any means, but it is pretty good. Better than default, I would definitely say that. Better than default. Emergency exit rows. Man, a lot of rows in this 321. Especially when you're all economy like this. Goodness, this is like 228 people, I think. That's a lot of bodies in here. Whew, that's a long row. When, if ever, is it suitable to take off with engine mode set to ignition? Never, because it's going to be auto ignition, man. You're going to get auto ignition with the slats out. Too bad more aircraft don't have the autosave feature that Toliss has. I agree. Toliss has a good... That was part of the reason I took the Toliss 319 over to London City, because if it crashed over the Atlantic, I wanted to be able to just load it up. Look at that. Is that Toliss? What's down there?
Subscriber ahead. Look up.
Thank you for the subscribe. Appreciate it, man. Are you still flying for your operator during COVID? I haven't been actively flying, no. But I just got out of the sim. I got my currency up, so I'm going to be bidding back to work. I've been choosing not to fly, so I've been on a paid leave, and I'm going back. I'm choosing to go back on July 1st, so it'll be nice to get back in it for sure. Thank you for the subscribe, love, and thank you for the subscribe, First Officer and Mrs. YL Mark. Appreciate it, man. Carter says the flush swish of death from the sound of that toilet. I know, that was an exhilarating... Slam Kid says an exhilarating flush. If you haven't seen it already, you gotta click through the Concord stream to the part where I might have to cut it out and post a separate video, because it was really funny. I mean, literally, I pressed the handle on the toilet, and it started out like a normal flush sound, and then it got really crazy, and... you know, an hour and a half into a transatlantic flight, last thing I want is my game to crash, and it started making all kinds of weird noises, and I think the boom we heard was the sound of the turd leaving at Mach 2. I mean, a Mach 2 flush. It's pretty incredible. Seymour says, I left a comment in the Concorde stream regarding supersonic corridors. I believe I just read that before the stream, Seymour. Appreciate the information, man. I think you were talking about even, was it above 300 in Africa as well? They can do supersonic flight. So, awesome information, man. I appreciate it. We're definitely going to be flying the Concorde more. I think it's a blast to fly. If we have to do our next tour and we go somewhere far away, we're going to have to take the Concorde, I think, because the Concorde just gets us there in no time flat. So here, let's sit on the jump seat for a minute. So if you're on the jump seat, this seat slides out, folds down. It's actually a really nice cockpit color in here from Totemek. This looks very believable for me. As far as the color scheme goes in here, this is really nice. That's kind of the view you sit on right there. I should have set that standard a while ago. I sense a new icon coming, a supersonic flush. I think the Concorde stream is still epic. Drawn post, thank you, man. I think it was too. I think that stream, it was so fun. It was so fun for me to do, and you guys really enjoyed it. Wouldn't want that hitting you at Mach 2. Definitely not, man. Alright, let's get back outside and enjoy some more of these orthos. Mark says, if you're planning to do an Asia tour, there is a great scenery for the entire island of Malaysia that is mostly free. Interesting. Alright. We'll have to bid on it, man. We'll have to make a little bidding post, see where we're going to go. But we're going to spend some time here in the U.S. I want to talk about ATC. I'm going to have to find a night to really do an ATC stream when I know we have some more centers online, because it's kind of hard for me to talk about it when I don't have air traffic control to talk to. I'm thinking we might get on the Friday night ops this Friday. I've never done a Friday night op on Vatsim, but I've seen some craziness happen, especially at the X-Plane 1972 channel. I might want to join the craziness this week. Kai Tech with the Concorde? Oh, man. That could be interesting. Maximilian says BSS for the Toliss 321 is coming. I have heard that myself. I would love for that to get released. When that drops, we will be in the 321 a lot more. I guarantee it. Does setting a time constraint in the McDo actually work? I don't know, man. I haven't actually tried it yet. We don't really use that function. It's pretty rare to get a time constraint. You're talking about putting in a like a UTC time and seeing what you do to have to make it. Unless you're doing, you know, in the tracks, in the enhance. I forget, there's a section off the U.S. from the East Coast down towards, not Cuba, and go out towards the St. Martin, a little bit further south. That whole section of airspace, I forget the name of it. Not quite track routes, but there's a special name, I can't think of it. You might use it there. Other than that, it's pretty rare to have that clearance. A Mach 2 flush is pretty incredible. It's a good idea for a mug. Friday night ops are fun. Let's do it. Sounds fun. All right, Slam Cannon. I think we'll do it, man. Mark your calendars, guys. Might be my first ever Friday night ops. OT says it can be crazy depending on what airport they're at. I'll have to find out, and we'll do it. It'd be kind of cool if... yeah, I think it'd be fun, man. I'll have to talk to X-Plane 1972, see if he's doing it this Friday. Kind of be cool to dual stream, see him flying. I remember watching one of his streams, and he was like number 15 or 20 in line for takeoff once. Wow. What planes do I fly in real life, JB? I fly the Airbus single-aisle family, so the 19, the 20, the 21. I mean, you can throw, and the Neo, but it's the same thing, just a different motor. Do you think it's possible to, in flight school, to finish flight school first, when then already flying for airline to get a degree in another subject? Costas, yes, a lot of guys do that. A lot of guys do that, Costas. It's just risk-reward. Seymour, thank you for the $5 donation, man. He says, what's the scariest diversion in real life you had to make in terms of fuel? Also, thanks for the Concorde stream. Looking forward to the next one. Seymour Rutz, what is the scariest diversion I had to make in terms of fuel? Ooh. I'm trying to think, man. I don't know if I've had one, if I've ever let it get to a really scary situation, because that's our job as flight crew, right? Well, first of all, thank you for your donation. But it's our job to not let it get to a scary situation, right? Now, I've been in positions where we've left the hold. We've been holding for an airport, and as a crew, we agree that, hey, when we leave this hold, there's no going back. There's no going in. We have to land at this airport, period. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. We don't have the fuel to go anywhere else. I've been in that situation. Not the best. Believe it or not, there was I remember an instance where we were actually at an alternate airport holding, which is kind of the worst case scenario. Normally, you fly to your destination, you have an alternate. If you have an alternate, you're like, okay, can't get into my destination, I'm going to my alternate. You're planned for that, and you're also planned to hold. But once you get to your alternate, I would say 9 times out of 10, maybe even more, if you're going to an alternate, you're going to get right in. Because an alternate, in order for it to be legal, it has to be a significantly better improvement weather-wise than what is happening at your primary airport. But there was an instance I do remember where we were holding for Orlando, which Orlando was our alternate, which in of itself is kind of like, why would you file Orlando as an alternate? But it was our alternate, and when we got there, unforecasted storms blew up, so we were actually holding at our alternate, which that was kind of unnerving, because we're like, okay, well, we're already at our alternate, we're already low on fuel, we don't have a lot of time. But we still got down legal limits and everything. But yeah, as a crew, you are, that's our job, to make sure we don't get into a scary situation. X-Plane 1972, good to see you still in the chat, man. He says, I'll do it with you, V1. All right, man. Well, I'll hit you up on Discord, man. We'll have to see what's going on. I think that'd be a lot of fun. JB says, I love the 321 Neo. Me too, man. I think the 321 Neo looks really, really classic. Just the big engines on there, especially the sharklets on the... Oh, so nice. Flying Guitarist says it was X-Plane 972 when he was in SFO, 90 minutes for takeoff. I think I remember watching that one. I think that's the one I'm referring to. Gosh, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. I should do it to just make my patience, to get my patience level up. I normally don't like waiting in the simulator for traffic, because in real life you end up having to wait a lot, and it can be aggravating. So when I fly an X-Plane, I don't want to have to wait for simulated traffic, but I should probably get my patience level back up there. Ricardo says, looking forward to learning some additional Vatsim from you on Friday. It would be cool if you could explain ATC special instructions or requests during the stream. All right, well, I will definitely talk about that, man. How do you do a deviation en route on the McDo due to weather? So, easiest way, if you have an alternate and you want to do a divert, you go to your, it can't be your top L1. You're going to go from your L2, and it says new destination, and you can just plop in and head there. Now, that's probably the easiest way to do it. Realistically, what I would do is I would put it in the secondary. So right now I'm going to just go ahead, copy active, make sure I should have cleared and copied in my secondary. So what I would do is I would go to secondary flight plan and probably delete this one, and I would reinitialize it, and I would do it from wherever we were going. I would put in the route, so we left, and there's multiple ways you could do it. You could do Kennedy. Let's say we're going to divert to Raleigh-Durham. And now, this isn't really a good example because it's going to be less fuel, so I know we'd be safe. But let's just pretend for a minute. So JFK to Raleigh, and you could then go to your secondary. You could load in your arrival here in the secondary. You could do, I'm making this up right now, ILS 5 right, a no star, and let's say we want to go there from Gordonsville. We just flew past Gordonsville, right? So now what I would do is clear this. I'm not allowed to clear PPAWs, so you've got at least a distance that you can do here, and now you can activate, you pull heading, activate secondary, go direct Gordonsville, or go direct, oh actually, let's change this up here. Well, I don't want to wipe my whole flight plan, but piece it. So yeah, we could go secondary, hold on, clear, we don't need Gordonsville, and I guess I can't clear JFK, but I would load it up like that, and then activate secondary, and then I would go direct to piece it, which it's not going to show because it's not in my active flight plan, and then your flight plan is loaded. So there's multiple ways you can do it. You can even just drop in the new, you want to drop in the new destination though, because in order to get arrival charts and all that, you want to make sure it is a new destination. You don't just want to put in the airport in your flight plan. So I would say the two easiest way to do it from your secondary, or do it from your L2 select key. Now I'm going to copy the active real quick here. I'm going to try this out, RDU. So what I did is I copied the secondary to be exactly what we're flying now. New destination. And now I can do this, arrival, ILS 5 left, no star, no via, insert. And now if I'm not mistaken, I should get a fuel readout here. There we go. I got rid of discounts. So now, just kind of by playing with it, and I haven't, it's been in a while since I've been on the real plane. I don't know if, I think I would get these numbers without clearing that disco on the real aircraft. I'm not sure though, not 100%. But either way, if you clear the disco out, you could see this is even conservative. So if I flew to Raleigh right now, I would have 129 miles, 5.5 fuel. That's if I left from Gordonsville. Gordonsville is back here. So I know I'm already closer than Gordonsville. So I know I've got plenty of gas to do it. So that's why I said it's kind of a bad example because Raleigh is closer than the destination. But let's say you were going to go to an alternate that was further. You would really want to look at this and always take the conservative number. And that's just a ballpark. It's just a ballpark for you. So a couple ways to do it in the Airbus. We're going to start preparing for our top of descent actually right now. So let's look at the charts. X-Plane says Friday night ops is this Friday, Denver, Salt Lake, and Seattle. Ooh, juicy. We're going to have to try that out, man. I do love a good Denver, man. Denver, Salt Lake, those are some good airports. Those are some good airports, XP. We're going to have to check it out, man. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Yo, Cap, big cheers from South Lake, Texas. Paul, cheers, my friend. Seymour says, bumper sticker for the merch store. I went to the loo at Mach 2. Hell yeah, man. All right, let's get ready here. Start prepping for our descent. Enter destination data. Oh, Charlotte approach is on, 27.7. That's awesome. Charlotte ATIS is 32.1. I don't think we can pick it up yet. Oh, we can. Information Charlie.
Charlotte Douglas International Airport Aided information Charlie 195 Dougal. West 180 and 7. Visibility 10. 3,500 Canada Tower in cumulus. 25,000 Canada. Temperature 31. 2122. Temperature 2906. Simultaneous departure of the view. Expect runway 18 center. Runway 18 left. Simultaneous approach in the view. Expect ILS approach 18 left. 18 center. 18 right. North into airmen. Transponders required to be on while operating on runways and taxiways. Read manual hold short instructions. Bird activity vicinity airport. VFR aircraft contact clearance delivery 127.
Blah, blah, blah. Perfect. All right, cool. So we got information Charlie and Charlotte there. Awesome stuff. Let's get the airport page out. 10-9, 18 center. And I was just throwing in the environmentals there as well. So 18 center. It'd be nice if we get that. And as far as our approach plate goes, we are looking at a DA of 942. Remember, we put that in the MDA. Unless we're doing a Cat 2 or Cat 3, don't put the 200 in there on the DH. I mean, you can. It might be operator specific, but for us anyway. And in our airplanes, this actually says radio and baro. It doesn't say MDA and DH. It says radio and baro. That's probably just a different software load. Clear Direct Fubar says it's a pretty good bumper sticker. I agree, man. All right, so we're looking at 18 center approach here. IPEP 183. Look at our LS push buttons on. We'll let it auto-tune. Make sure it does. It's not quite picked up yet. 183, Silo 2400, DA. Touchdown zone is 742. 742. 3800 on the MSA. Thank you for the subscribe there, Ken. Appreciate it, man. Pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. God, I love seeing how simple this approach plate is after being in Europe, man. This is so nice. Straight in, 942. If we got to go missed, we're going to go straight out 3000 on the Charlotte 181 to Denny. We got Pappies on the right-hand side. Mauser approach light system. Light winds, beautiful day. No excuses, guys. No excuses. Constraint mode is on. We're going to go manual brakes, flaps full, full reverse. We'll clear out the FO's interdestination data as well. We are set up and ready to go. So when do I got to call Mr. Approach here? Let me look at the live map on SimToolkit Pro. I got a little ways, I guess. Man, I can see us all in a line there. That's cool. America West 506, United 450 is leading the pack. America West 2020, America West Cactus. Cactus 2020 is trailing. Perfect. Love it. Absolutely love it, guys. Awesome stuff. All right, so our approach is set up in there. Let me make sure my RadNav page is cleared out because I just don't know. Well, I guess it is clear. ISHD 1095. Why we have that? We are ILS 18 center, correct? 111.3. We'll let it go a little further. It should auto-tune. But that looks good to me. Let's do another flyby view. This is X-Plane 11, Patty. Oh, yeah. Some of you guys out east call that a mountain range right there. Looks like a hill to me. All right, we are set up. OT says that Albuquerque is always a fun place to find the sim. SFD scenery is awesome for it. You know, that's one place I have not gone in X-Plane. I really should try it out. I'm kind of salty towards Albuquerque, and I'll tell you why. A long time ago, I was trying to get a job flying for a caravan outfit, and I flew in. They you know, you had to pay for your own ticket, fly out to Albuquerque, do an interview in the airport, and I didn't get the job. Well, I did. I crushed the interview part, but you had to take a test, and at the time, I was not ready. It was basically an ATP level written test that I was not prepared for at all. I will admit that. I didn't do my due diligence on research of what to expect at the interview, and I didn't get the job. So ever since then, I've been kind of salty towards Albuquerque Airport. It has nothing to do with the airport itself or the state of Albuquerque, just for the fact that I didn't get the job there. Now I don't want to go back. Costa says, do you know how hard it is that the pilot... Do you know if it's hard for the pilots that do choose to get a degree while they're already working for an airline to manage both of the things at the same time? I'll tell you what will make the difference, Costas. If you get a job at an airline and you are home-based and you're not commuting, definitely doable. No question about it. Especially if you're on reserve, because if you're on reserve, you're probably going to be sitting around doing nothing. So why not be working towards a degree, chipping away at that? Now, if you do have to commute, I'll tell you right now, you're not going to want to do it. You'll say, oh, I'll have time, I'll still be on a reserve. When you commute to your job in this industry, it is a different career than the pilot who is not commuting. It makes that much of a difference, man. I cannot stress that enough. I commuted for many years, and when I got home-based, I honestly felt like I had changed career paths. So I always tell you guys, I mean, sometimes, commuting doesn't seem that bad at face value, especially, like me. I love aviation, passionate about airplanes. I love flying. I tell you what, man, after a year commuting, I loathed sitting in the back of an airplane. To this day, I really don't enjoy it, to be honest with you. I don't really like being in the back of an airplane anymore. I like being up front in the cockpit. Two totally different experiences. But, I mean, now, since I haven't flown since March, I'm down. I'm just excited to go fly. When I went to the sim last week, and I drove through the airport, get to the sim center, and I tell you what, I believe it was an Envoy Embraer 175 went across the bridge, and just looking up and hearing the airplane and seeing an airplane, I felt like a kid again, man. I am so ready to get back in the cockpit. I am so excited to get back flying. It's a great job. It really is a great job if you're passionate about it, man. There are times when you're like, man, this is tough, but like right now when I just blew our top of descent, oh boy. But if you love aviation and you follow your dreams, man, you'll never be, I won't say never, you will get upset sometimes, but it makes it a lot easier to go to work, I'll tell you that. All right, ping me, there it is. Yes, sir. Please contact me on 2615. 2615, you got it. I just started down, too. He's probably going to be mad. Good afternoon, Charlotte. Approach Cactus 513. We're 33.3, descending flight level 270. How you doing?
Cactus 513, Charlotte Approach. Good afternoon. Good and you. Squawk 630490.
Squawk 634... What was that squawk code again for Cactus 513?
Cactus 513, it's 6304, 6304.
6304, Cactus 513, thanks. I thought he said Niner for a second. I'm like, I don't... Alright, so I'm descending to 270 just because I'm a little high on profile. We'll see what he does here.
608, Charlotte Bridge, squawk 632.
We got to talking. Now we're out of it here. Alright, so I'm thrust out of open descent. I'm trying to get down to 27. We'll dial in 300 knots.
United 450, Charlotte Approach. Good afternoon. Squawk 6330.
We got to get below 27, though. So we're going to get a little bit of speed brake action out. Since I was already in the descent before I contacted him, I think I am in the right. So this is a question that you guys will ask for the ATC stuff. If I'm already in a descent and then he calls me, I'm good to continue my descent until I get an instruction from him. So I was a little late on the descent there. I started down.
Cactus 4, or correction, United 450, radar contact about 6
So I'm going down to 27. He knows that. Everything is kosher. He assigned me a new squawk code just because he's taking control of me now. So that's pretty standard procedure. Get a new squawk. And we're just going to wait for him now. So we have information, Charlie. I always write down the identifier just in case you forget what it is. So I should have technically called with information, Charlie, because he is the approach controller. So a lot of those guys want to hear that you have the information. All right, so we're level at 270. I'm going to remanage. No, I'm not going to remanage because our top of descent is... So here's something for you guys. Can I do it? Will it let me do it? I'm going to recruise us 270. Will it work? Yes, it does. All right, so a lot of you guys... No, it doesn't.
Cactus 608, radar contact about 75 miles northwest of Charlotte Airport, or correction, northeast of
I'm
Charlotte
trying
Airport.
to
Charlotte altimeter 2996.
recruise
Send
it
via
here.
the Chisley for arrival, except maintain 7000. Expect runway 18 center.
Alright,
270. So I'm trying to recruise the descent speed, but it's not letting me do that right now, unfortunately. I'm going to come back to 280.
Cactus 513, radar contact about 7-8 miles northeast of Charlotte Airport. Charlotte altimeter 2996. Descend via the Chisley for arrival, except maintain 7000, and expect ILS runway 18 center.
All right, we'll expect the ILS 18 center send via the Chisley 4, except maintaining 7000, Cactus 513. All right, so we are descending via, so I'm going to select manage speed. Oops, push it in for manage. So now I'm in thrust idle, descent mode, 280 knots. Now, what I can't do right now is I can't push for manage speed because unfortunately we've already... Let's see here if it'll do it. No, it wants to go back to 250. So I'm going to have to stay in selected speed because right now the airplane wants me to come down at 250, which I don't understand why. Oh, because it's, I don't know, it's doing something weird. So I can't change this number anymore because I've already started the descent phase. That's what I was trying to do, is recruise it when we were at 270. That did not work. It would work in the real airplane. So we're just going to have to manage the speed manually. That's a bad phrasing. We're going to have to use the speed manually to comply with the star here. So I'm going to come back to 270 knots. But as far as our altitude deviation, we are in managed descent, and we should be okay. So I'm going to put Charlotte in here.
270 indicated, Cactus 608.
Cactus 513, safe speed.
Doing 280, Cactus 513.
Cactus 513, reduce speed to 260 knots, still advised.
All right, we'll slow to 260, Cactus 513. All right, so the descend via clearance
maintain 270 knots or greater.
is now changed to maintaining 260 knots. I do not have to comply with these speeds until he says to cancel the restriction. But I am still responsible for the altitude. So 260 knots, this is one of those instances where you can get in trouble in the Airbus if you're not paying attention. So I'm going to get the brakes out now. I'm going to get us on speed because I know I'm a little bit high on profile, and he's slowing me back to 260. This is building blocks for a situation for an unstable approach of being high and fast. So I got to remedy that situation now. The airplane's not doing exactly what I want. I want to slow down faster. I get the speed brakes out. Once I get back to 260, I'm going to keep the boards out a little bit, help it come down a little bit faster. We can see our vertical deviation is off here. We're 4,600 feet high according to the predetermined 3-degree path, which we cannot recalculate, unfortunately, in X-plane. It's not modeled. So we have to kind of do a little mental math, but I know that I'm high already, so I'm just going to keep coming down. Keep those speed brakes out. Idle thrust, we're looking good. So we got to try to remedy this situation. Is it normal for you to get a new squawk? Yes, man, definitely. Sorry, I was kind of ignoring the chat there, but I saw this situation unfolding, and we got to try to remedy it. So we're on our descent. We'll get the seatbelt sign on. Please return to your seats. Captain has overshot top of descent, and it's going to be a wild ride. How do you know you are in the correct profile? So if I was on a correct profile according to the calculated path that we have in X-plane, this little green donut here, you see this green donut? It should be right here, kind of like when you're flying an ILS, you want it right in the middle, right? You can also bring up your progress page on your McDo, and I can see my vertical deviation is 3,400 feet high. Now it's coming down significantly, which is good. That means I'm catching up to it. When this says 0...
Reduce speed to 250 knots, then descend to maintain 7,000.
All right, descend to maintain 250 knots, then down to 7,000, Cactus 513. All right, so let me answer your question first. When this shows 0, this deviation donut will be centered here on your PFD. So I know I'm still high. Now he slowed me down even more. but he's also given me a clearance down to 7,000. So now I am no longer required to comply with anything on the star. So now I'm going to go open descent, 250, and we are definitely going to get those speed brakes full open, which they are, and we got to try to catch up to it here. We're going through 17.5. The altimeter was 2.996. We'll set once, set twice, and set 3 times. 10-15. And transition altitude is 18,000. I got to save that in the settings. I haven't done that yet. There we go. All right, so since I'm no longer required to comply with the star, I'm in open descent mode, thrust idle with the speed brakes out. That's going to be my fastest way to get down.
Cactus 608, descent to maintain 6,000 and reaching 6,000.
Transavia fan, how are you? Thank you for the 3-year donation. I'm literally crying all day long. Transavia fan, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Who was that for? Oh, no, I missed. Sorry to hear that you're crying all day long. Why is that, man? Is it aviation related? Hopefully the stream will cheer you up. How about a flyby shot here at idle thrust with FMOD sounds? Well, that'll probably make you cry harder because I'm about to cry after hearing that one. But maybe the stream will cheer you up, man. Thank you for your support. Hopefully we can cheer you up, man. Ant Gibb Spotter, what's up, man? Hope you're keeping well. I'm doing great. Thank you guys for asking. I hope you're doing just well, Mr. Ant Gibb Spotter. Says, sorry I'm late. At least I'm in time for the approach and landing. You got it, man. All right, so here is what we were talking about, guys. See my vertical deviation donut is coming up. Look at my, now we're not following this anymore because we have an open descent clearance down to 7,000. But see, here we go, vertical deviation, 200. 0 deviation is going to be right there. Now I'm actually going to descend below it because I'm in an open descent. So now that I'm getting below profile, I'm just going to help it out by stow the speed brakes. We don't need to be rocketing down anymore. We'll stow the speed brakes. That'll shallow our descent rate a little bit, but we're still going to pitch for an open descent at 250 knots. So we are going to fall below it, but that's normal. See how it's slowed down there now? We're just a little bit lower, but we caught up to our path. If he would have wanted us to stay on the star, it would have got a little slippery for sure.
Cactus 2020 Charlotte Bridge, squawk 6355, thanks for Charlie.
6355.
Sean Place 15, what's up, man? How you doing? I'm doing good, man. Hope you're doing well. Captain Tom, we got the vacuum sound emoji. Yeah. In idle thrust, there's no juice here.
East of the Charlotte Airport. Charlotte altimeter 29.
No juice here. Let me turn on these sounds up a little bit more.
2996, expecting 18 center, Cactus 2020.
Thank you for the subscribe there. Appreciate it. Which screen shows you where you're plus or minus? It is on your McDo progress page. So, like, here I'll be in flight plan. Watch, I'll hit progress. There's your vertical deviation. We're going through some clouds there. 15C, no need. Turn on the anti-ice. Plenty warm out here. We're getting ready to go through 10,000 feet. Let's light it up. I'm going to leave this light. So this is, I got to get used to this. So cleared approach, cleared to land. So everything else is on except our 2 outboard switches there.
701, say speed.
Oh, I love this livery, man. Andy says, hey everyone, thanks for landing technical stream. Found that really interesting and learned a lot. Now trying to watch both you and Flight Deck to Sim. I know, man, I saw that he was streaming shortly before I started. I didn't see, I checked last night. I don't want to, I know we have a lot of cross fans, and I try not to stream when he streams. I guess maybe I just slipped it, or I scheduled this last night. I just had a lot to do today. I wanted to stream earlier today. All right, at 7,000, back to 210, Cactus 513. All right, that's going to be hard to do.
Yeah, thanks for the help.
Yeah, no problem, man. So, yeah, I know it's a little bit unfortunate. I wanted to see that stream. He's doing a sunset approach into Ski Athos. Good old times, right, Dimitri? I love that Greece part of our Euro tour. Beautiful down there. Absolutely beautiful. All right, so he gave me a clearance at 7,000, reduced speed to 210. So there's 2 ways we can go about this. You can try to remember and probably forget and get in trouble, or you can dial in 210 knots now. However, if I dial in 210 knots while we are in an open descent, my descent is going to really shallow out because it's going to try to pitch for speed first. So a little trick you can do, pull for vertical speed, because this is what the airplane is doing right now at idle thrust, right? So I know if I maintain the same vertical speed, I'm going to maintain 250 knots. So now I can adjust my speed back to 210 so I don't forget to slow down. And once we level off, it will automatically start coming back to 210. So that's a kind of a little trick you can do. And look at my speed. It's staying right at 250. It's actually decreasing. I could increase my descent rate if I wanted to. But that's kind of a trick. If they give you a slow down clearance.
Cactus 513, you have traffic at your 12 o'clock, 6 miles, same direction, descending past 6,000. It's a company A320 report in sight.
Roger, we'll be looking Cactus 513. We just entered some clouds right now at 7,000.
Cactus 513, roger.
All right, so there's 7,000, and now look, the speed's going to come back to 210 because I already have it set up there. Here comes our VFE next. We'll go minus 10. We're pretty close to that green dot. We'll pop out those slats right now.
Cactus 513, contact approach 127.7. If you see that plane, just let her know, please.
27.7, we'll do it, Cactus 513. See ya. Approach, good afternoon, Cactus 513, level 7,000. We're doing 210 knots with Charlie, looking for the traffic.
Cactus 513, Charlotte approach, good evening. Charlotte 72996, expect vectors, ILS runway 18 center approach.
Roger that, we'll expect vectors ILS 18 center, Cactus 513. All right, so we're expecting vectors 18 center.
Heavy contact, Charlotte Tower
7,210 knots, the slats are out. We're in the clouds, can't see the ortho. Sure glad I got that taking up space.
Cactus 513, center maintain 5,000.
Center maintain a 5,000, Cactus 513. All right, down to 5, open descent. Below 10,000 feet, I recommend just pooling for open descent. That's going to give you, it's just going to get you down. I mean, you could manage this and do 1,000 feet per minute, but general rule of thumb, I just like pooling below 10,000 feet. ATC's giving you clearances. You're in close to the airport. Just get down, get in position.
Overhead Silo will contact Tower 118.1 to ATC.
Phoenix, if I call correct, might need to wait for an answer from V1. Ooh, what did I miss? Captain Elks. What did I miss, man? Got a little busy there. It says, Captain Elks, how do you know if they cleared you for an open descent or whether you should descend via the star? Thanks a lot. Elks, so it's going to be in the phrasing of the clearance. Anytime you hear the word via, V-I-A. Harold, thank you for your donation, man. I'm going to get right back to you before I lose this thought. When you hear the word via, that means you are responsible for your altitude and your speed compliance on your arrival. When you get a descend via, you are responsible for doing a managed descent profile and speed and complying with everything. Unless they give you a descend via except maintain 7,000 or 210 knots. If they give you that accept word, then you got to say, what do you accept what? Now, when you're just like that, just a minute ago, we're at 7,000. It says descend and maintain 5,000. All I got to do, pull for open descent down to 5. You don't have to worry about it. Maintain your current speed. So right now, my last clearance was 210 knots. So I'm going to maintain 210 knots until I'm cleared for an approach or I'm told otherwise. And I'm going to just follow the altitude that he gives. But as far as the star goes, when you hear that word via, that means you are responsible.
And approach.
And Harold, Harold 2, thank you for the $6 donation, man. Really appreciate it. He says, thank you for the lessons, captains. Now I only need an Airbus to learn for myself. Harold, man, I'll tell you what, man, if you're just starting out, Toliss Airbuses are a great place to start, man. They're user-friendly. With performance, actually it's not really, I wouldn't say user friendly. They're PC friendly. So if you don't have a super machine, the flight factor can definitely be hard on your computer, and it may limit what airports you want to fly into because of the performance hit that you're going to take. But all three.
513 is 6 miles from Tommy. Turn left heading 210. Maintain 5,000 until established in the localizer. Cleared Alice runway 18 center approach. Maintain 180 knots until sea level.
All right, 210 on the heading, cleared ILS 18 center approach, 180 to SIBO, Cactus 513. All right, so 180 on the speed, 210 on the heading, and we'll go ahead and arm it up. We're cleared approach. So APPR and autopilot 2, I'm going to draw a line off of OSJES, whatever it is. It did not.
Tower 108.1.
Over tower 18.
Flaps 2.
Cactus, 60 right next to your ATC.
What was the final approach? It was 183. Oops, I put a W there. I didn't want to do that. I'm trying to extend the line. Okay, it doesn't even matter. Erase it. I was going to extend the line, but let's try it again. 183. Oh, shoot.
Charlotte approach, good afternoon, Cactus 2020 is 210 at 7,000.
Cactus 2020, Charlotte approach, good evening. Charlotte 299.
Close enough.
Expect vectors, ILS runway 18 center approach.
180 to CeeLo.
Vectors 18 center 2996 is Cactus 2020.
That didn't quite extend properly. I screwed that one up. Well, we are on it now. You guys want to see raw data? There you go. I screwed that up. I don't want to mess with it again. I had a crash messing around with that direct 2, but I put it in the inbound instead of the outbound, or the outbound instead of the inbound. So I messed that one up right there. But no harm, no foul. We are established on 180 knots. Tower over CeeLo. CeeLo is identified at 6.9 IPEP. And we're not getting any DME readout. I noticed that.
Cactus 2020, fly heading 270 to
That's so weird.
Heading 270 down to 5,000.
We should be getting a DME off of a 111.3. We're not getting any DME.
Overhead CeeLo, contact tower 108.1 p.m.
Over CeeLo, tower 18-1, Cactus 513. See it. 18-1 over CeeLo. Yeah, I don't know why we're not getting a DME on that. I actually saw that on Flight Deck to Stream's 319 stream. We should be getting a DME here. IPEP 184, 111.3.
Iberia 701, Charlotte approach, my frequency.
Vertical speed 0. Whoa, what just happened there?
Iberia 701, you never called me. Turn left heading 090.
Okay, it's doing some weird things there.
701.
Approach United.
All right, 3,000 on the go around. We'll set 3,000. We're 180 knots. We're flaps 2. We're looking good. Go back to arc mode here, see where we are. They're still looking good. CeeLo, since we can't get DME showing on the DME page here, I don't know why. Apologize for my dogs. We're going to do this. CYLOW. There we go. So now I got 4.8. So I know, well, we're over CeeLo. Oh no, over CeeLo. So once we hit CeeLo, 4 miles from it, we can go ahead and call tower. Yeah, I screwed up that direct 2 insert there. I don't know what happened. If we go direct CeeLo right now, I can insert that. Apparently my dog, his toy got locked in the bathroom, so that's why he was freaking out. All right.
701, turn left heading 360.
Glide slope, Lokes. We are looking good. I want to hand fly this in. Where's CeeLo? 2 miles from CeeLo. 3,000 misapproach altitude is set. We're looking good.
Cactus 2025 miles from Tommy, turn left heading 210.
Phoenix says I also didn't get DME when I flew international. Interesting, man. That might be a bug we gotta have to bring up. I don't know why it's not. It should definitely be right here. Should definitely be there.
Yeah, 450, turn left heading 360.
All right, there's CeeLo. 18-1 is set. Target afternoon, Cactus 513 on the ILS 18 center. Number 2, 18 center, clear to land, Cactus 513. All right, we're clear to land. Autopilot's coming off. We'll hand flyer down. We're below on the speed there. Gear down. We'll get it down though. We'll get the gear. I waited. I was touchdown zone. Ooh, are we going to be unstable? Flaps 3. We got to be configured here by 1,000 feet above touchdown. See, I was looking at my MSL altitude there. 742, 1742. We should be all right. Flaps full. Landing checks. Cabin crew advised. Auto thrust speed. ECAM memo. Landing all green. Landing checklist complete. There is 1,700, which is 1,000 above. Stable.
Left turn 1 able.
We are landing 1-8 center. I gotta lower my chair just a tad. Fly all into the glide slope here. Like a rookie. Oh my goodness, look at that. That was terrible. Two whites, two reds. Are we got to coincide on glide path? Nope. They are not coinciding. We'll stay on the glide slope though like we do. We got our landing clearance, our gear is down, landing checklist completed. Oh yeah.
Cactus 608, taxi to the right by Echo, cross runway 5 Echo.
Alright, Echo, cross runway 5 Echo. Cactus 608, thanks for ATC.
200.
Alright, glide slope's going to fall away from us here as we go below minimums.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, retard.
Spoilers! The Reaver's going, yeah, we almost smashed that one, guys. Oh my goodness, did we almost smash or what? Got a little unstable there. We'll let the auto thrust bring it down. Get on the brakes here lightly. Oh, we aren't going to make that one. 70 knots. We'll take the next left here. Try not to cook the brakes. Hot day in Charlotte. Make sure you clear the runway, hold short. Terminating bars. That's
Cactus 513, taxi clear in by Echo, cross runway 5 at Echo.
all right. Ramp via Echo with you. Clear to cross 5 at Echo. Cactus 513. All right. So Echo with him to the ramp.
Nice landing.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. All right. So we are down. We'll clear that off. It's a hot day, so let's get the APU primed up and ready. We'll start the chrono here for a 3-minute cooldown. I really got to start doing these things because I want to try to get myself in the correct habits. I've been doing a lot of X-Plane with you guys, and unfortunately I conformed some bad habits, so I'm trying to really knock some of the rust off here. And how about we stow the speed brakes and get the airplane cleaned up. We'll keep the altitude mode on. There's the APU, fire up. And we're cleared across, so we'll get the lights back on here, even though I believe it's closed. 10-9 page, we're going to go across here. We're going to go spot 12 into the terminal area. We'll pick a spot over there. Alright, we're not going to do any checklists until we cross the runway. Nice touchdown at 159. Not bad, man. It was a hard butter. Yeah, Swarm, I agree, man. Hard butter's in chat, definitely. That's why I made that emoji, man. That's a frozen butter. You guys ever tried to make cookies or something with cold butter or frozen butter? It's a pain. You have to put it in a microwave, so. Still soft, but it was a little less than optimal. Take it easy, Swappy. 3 a.m., dude. Get out of here, man. Get some rest.
Afternoon, Cactus 2020, establish 18 center.
2020, Charlotte Tower, good afternoon. 1807. Remember, we 18 center, clear the land.
Clear land, 18 center, Cactus 2020.
Cactus 2020 coming in on final. There he is, looking good. Man, I wish my X-Pilot is. I guess that is an X-Pilot thing, huh? No wheels. It's unfortunate. All right, so Echo. We'll stay on Echo. We'll go in Echo 17. We got a minute 41. APU is online, so as soon as that hits 3 minutes, Phantom, if you can feather number 2 for me. Jeremy Harvey, did I say with you? I did not say with you. I did not say with you. No. There's no way. Fake news, Jeremy. No way I said with you. 9 feet per minute away from a butter? I'll take it, man. First landing on the 321 in a while. It's been a minute since we've been on the 321. Strick says, would avoid the Thrustmaster TFRP pedals. I have them, not very smooth plastic pedals on metal runners. Interesting. Not much cheaper than the Cytec ones, which I believe. Yeah, I have the Cytec ones, man. Mine, I would have no problems with my rudders, man, except that no fault to anybody else other than myself, as I broke them, right? So it's kind of a pain to manipulate them. But if I didn't break them, I'd be loving them. And I'm just using my yoke to taxi, which is so weird, but I like it. Look at that American taxiing out. Man, it feels good to be back here. All right, into the ramp area here. We're still far from the gate. We'll keep that taxi light on. Here comes 2020 Cactus. I did? Oh, okay. No, to the ramp with you. That is different, you guys. That is a different. He actually said with me, so I did what he said. That is the only time. The only time. Savages, every single one of you, I swear. The only time you could say with you. Yeah. Yeah, because he said taxi to the ramp with me. So I said taxi to the ramp with you. I wasn't saying, you know, Center Cactus 513 with you. I was doing the ramp. I missed 2020's landing. There he is, rolling out. Man, I missed the best part because you guys were giving me crap. We're just going to park it over here straight ahead. We'll go ahead and taxi light is off, right? Yes, it is. APU is up. There's 3 minutes. Yellow electric pump is on. Confirm 2. Confirm. Feather and 2. Dimitri says, I'll fly the pirate. I'll file the pirate for you. No pirate needed. No pirate needed. Give me a little more credit than that, man. Brakes are hot. Need brake fans. Yeah, we're 380C on the left there. But tip about brake fans: you're not really supposed to turn them on until you arrive at the gate. That's when they are going to be the hottest. If you turn them on right after landing, you actually cause more damage than good. Where's the 321 stripe? We'll take it to the 33. Southwest stop right there. Brake set. APU is online. Engine 1. Seatbelt sign. Let's get the APU bleed on so we don't smoke them out here. Clear Direct Fubar said I didn't realize with you is a no-no. Heck yeah, it's a no-no, man. Razgriz 792. Hello from your final box controller. Thank you, Razgriz. I appreciate the ATC, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate the ATC, Razgriz. You guys did a fine job. Any of you controllers are watching the stream. You all did a fine job. Fine job this afternoon, spacing us out and getting us down. Radar's off. Stand by you. And yellow electric pump is off. Fuel pumps are coming off. Well, we are here. Beacon is off. I don't know. Why do you not connect? Oh well. Alright, let's take a look at that replay. There's Cactus 2020 coming into the ramp. Awesome. Oh, we're going to hop in a replay mode. Who's this? Ooh, we got a United coming in here. Very nice. Heavy Airways over here.
Siberia 701, Charlotte Tower.
May V1 Toga be with you. Oh, man. I get whiplash with that stop? Yeah, man. Alright, we got United coming in here for a gear up landing, courtesy of X-Pilot. Oh, it's looking pretty good. Hey, without any gear, that looked pretty darn good to me. Alright, let's throw this into replay mode.
Charlotte
I'm going to go
Tower.
ahead and disconnect from
Unable.
the Vatsim. And let's take a look at that replay. Real view is already disabled, so we'll back it up. Here we go. Gotta love it. Thanks, V1. Bedtime in the Netherlands. Jerome Post, get out of here, man. Thanks for stopping by the stream, man. Ricky says, V1, I'm telling you, strap a few rubber bands around the heel of the toe brake worked for me. Ricky, that's right. I think you mentioned that before. I got to do it. I will do it as soon as I move my sim pit. I will probably do it. Man, look at the textures on these slats here. This wing is just unreal. Will we get flap noises on the replay? Let's see. I think they're already out. No. Man, look at that wing though, huh? Alright, let's zoom it in here. We configured the airplane 1,000 feet. Down we go. And right about there looks good to me. Play ya. Gosh, that wing view. What is your Charlotte scenery? I honestly, Hudson, I don't know, man. I installed this a long time ago. And I looked in the Charlotte scenery folder, and I don't have... It doesn't say anything. DGS, maybe? Would that give you a hint? I downloaded this one a long time ago. It was a free one off of the X-Plane forum. I wish I had a name for you. Simon says, had a lot of fun controlling you guys. Look forward to seeing you again. Simon, thank you so much for the ATC, man. Can the theme music for the next stream be you two with or without you? Oh, man. No, Strix. No. Unable. Have you ever used full runway length during landing? Yes, I have. I was on a 320 once where the pilot floated and had to force us down almost halfway to the runway so hard to make the mast come down. That sounds like a no-no. I've had to use a full runway just because short runway operations where there was snow on it. But yeah, that doesn't sound very good right there, William. That would be go around right there. That's a go around, man. 100%. Ooh, we almost smashed. We saved it there. Went full Airbus flare on it. We're down. Oh, I love those spoilers coming out. Spoid brakes popping out. Reversers coming out. All right, one more from right here. Actually, one more from behind the wing, just because these flaps are juice. Love that double slotted flap on the 321. Nice wing flex. Here comes our Florence kit. No Florence kit installed on this airplane? I guess not. Alright, let's take a look outside. Got some nice replay sounds though. Not terrible. Oof. A little off center line there. Looks like I corrected it. And we got her down. That's a typical Airbus landing from a guy who hasn't landed in a while. Floated out and then just plop her down. Pretty typical. I did get control of the center line, which is good. A little bit of a wind there, not bad. Plop her down. Nice pitch attitude. Look at that. You don't want to be flat in the 321. Still want to flare. Not hit the tail. All right, we'll back it up. Tower view. Dogs are going crazy. Oh, you know what? I forgot to put you guys into replay mode. Start the music. We've got a little crystal ball on our way here. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today on this afternoon stream back in the USA. Plan to have a couple more. I'm going to try to get at least another one out before Friday. Definitely want to try Friday with you guys on the Friday Night Ops. Mods, thank you guys. A lot of activity today, of course, as expected. Thank you for keeping the chat in line. Donors, thank you so much for supporting the channel. New members, exclamation point, welcome. After the stream, guys, if you have a question you want me to answer in video format on the V1 After Dark podcast, I've combined these 2 months just because I'm really busy. I'm going to post that right now after this stream concludes. Post your question if you are a member, and I will answer it in the podcast for you. I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Until then, you have a wonderful rest of your day. Stay safe, stay healthy. I'm V1. See ya!